Welcome to an all-new episode of the 60-second car. We are well into the movie and now into minute 46. My name is Dan, and joined as always by my lovely co-host with the most boast, Mr. Daniel.
Supreme me.
Daniel, you know what time it is? It's a diesel time!
It's diesel time.
60-second car.
Welcome back to the 60-second car, minute 46. Oh, we're about to jump into something. We're about to jump into a big story beat. The last minute did not have much of a story beat. We had a sort of beginning of a story beat, but not really a real one. We're about to jump into a big story beat. At least what we think so. This minute is going to be interesting and fun. We're gonna have some callbacks to some cinematography I'm ready to talk about, which should be fun.
Right.
But yeah, it's been fun watching this movie because, and as we've talked about in I guess the last episode, I do rewatch movies and TV shows and things just a lot, to the point at which I think Katie thinks I'm either stupid or forgetful, because for her, she cannot rewatch movies. She can't do it. She's like, if I've seen it already, I see not much joy in watching it again, even if I love the thing. I guess there's some exceptions, but still, it's got to have a new experience to it. I believe we've all seen the Lord of the Rings series a bunch of times apart, but she was very into us watching it together for the first time. I don't think we've watched it together since, though. So her and I are very different.
I've seen them all exactly once, so I can't.
I get it. But like, that's like my shit.
I get what you're saying about like rewatching things and kind of getting looked at, because I have watched probably between seasons 2 and seasons 13 of The Simpsons, all those episodes, dozens and dozens of times. I could put one on, just have it on, laugh like I'm watching it for the first time. And Katie's like, "Oh, we watched this one recently." I'm like, "Recently?" She's like, "Yeah, like a year or two ago." I'm like, No,
that's not recent.
I would have these seasons on repeats like all summer.
Yeah.
Recently, no.
So there's this really big YouTube channel, and those that watch YouTube a lot will probably know what I'm talking about, but there's this YouTube channel that does they do a bunch of things, but they've been doing lately this series where one of their longtime cast members have been guessing people based on three of their top 3 things within a category. First video was their top 3 movies. Their second video, I think, was looking at their workstation and seeing who it was. But the third movie was guessing from their top 3 video games. And their fourth video, which just came out this last week, was guessing based on their top 3 TV shows. I did one personally, and I had my mod reach out to people, which is probably why you weren't tapped. But that's why I'm bringing this up. To ask a lot of my Twitch friends and YouTube friends, and Katie was thrown in there, even though I was not told she was thrown in there. Still got it right. Go watch that video. It's hilarious, and I'm pretty good at guessing who my friends are based on them. But we did top 3 video games, either your favorites or ones that sort of define you. And for content creators, that's why I threw that in there. But if we were to talk about let's see, you pick one. Movies, video games, or TV shows. What would be your top 3 of those that you would have placed in there?
You're asking me to pick one of those 3 and then give you my top 3?
What do you watch the most of? Is it movies, TV shows, or do you...
TV.
TV? Okay. So your top 3 TV shows then. Simpsons being one of them.
Being number 1, yes.
Being number 1. What okay, do you want, I don't know if you watch like comedy shows necessarily, like Whose Line or Were you into Arrested Development? I don't know if I'd be able to. If you gave them to me, I might be able to guess, but I don't know if I could pick them off the top.
My Katie Bear's friend group during quarantine, they would have these big FaceTime things when they all would just like rank shit, and occasionally I would be in on them. So I got to do my top, I think 9 or some 7 TV shows, and I wound up surprising myself with some of them. And like when I was like sat down, I'm like, okay, so in the mix that we've got like Reno 911. I love Reno 911.
Okay, for sure.
Metalocalypse.
Okay.
Arrested Development, the first 4 seasons of Futurama.
Only the first 4.
It falls off for me. Like
It changes. Yeah.
We've been watching them actually in order lately, and I've been watching some of these seasons for the first time, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of good here, but like, I think there's
not so good.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like an emotional connection because I watched the hell out of 1 through 4, and then it went away for a while, and in my head that was Futurama, and then it came back, and I'm like, yeah, but like I already went through the emotions of burying this. This is dead now, and you brought it back. I don't love you anymore. You're not the same
first
person.
cancellation. I didn't realize the first cancellation was at season 4.
I've been trying like online really gets it all mixed up about what it was. I go by the DVD sets, and maybe it's collection 4, but to me that was season 4.
Sure.
Wikipedia calls it 5 sometime. Anyway, but like my top 3 right now would probably be The Simpsons, Taskmaster.
Oh.
That shot up big time.
Yeah.
Like I love Taskmaster. I watch New Zealand, Australia, the original.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the spin-off ones.
If I was more patient and didn't also enjoy playing like my Switch or something while I watch them, I would watch Norwegian, Sweden ones. They're all on YouTube. Yeah. But New Zealand and Australia are both fantastic. And then 3 gets fuzzy because like I want to say maybe Arrested Development.
I really like Arrested Development. Yeah.
Maybe Metalocalypse. Right now I might have to say Metalocalypse.
Yeah. Metalocalypse is also good.
It was like the show made for me.
Were you a Venture Bros guy?
I tried. Couldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it
Venture
was.
Bros was good, but there was a lot of like, this is just weird to be weird, it seemed.
What I liked about Metalocalypse is like, I liked that the episodes were short. Venture Bros felt like more of a commitment.
They were serialized.
To be weird for the sake of weird for like a 20-minute long thing felt like too much. Like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, those are 11 minutes long. Perfect. Yeah. Metalocalypse, they eventually did do a season where they were 20 some odd minutes. Cool. I'm into it. I'm already like, I'm invested at that point.
Sure.
I'm along for the ride. But like to start with something where I'm like, all right, this is a lot of weird. Oh, this is Adult Swim. It's going to be over soon. Oh, it's not? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Aqua Teen, they did 11-minute episodes, but were they 2 episodes on a block? Is that one of those?
Think so.
I don't remember. Maybe those were reruns. But yeah, I do remember them being short, and they were goofy and silly, but also to the point. You had recurring characters, but it wasn't a serialized series. It was you got everything done in that one episode. Basically, there's one problem and that was solved, or not, but it doesn't matter. Usually, Meatwad wants something. Shake says no, you can't have it, and then messes it all up, and then Fry being Fry, but also like bad at it, tries to fix it.
Sure.
That's pretty much the formula of the show, but it was great. So another reason I bring that up is because I asked, or Katie just started like guessing what mine would have been, and yeah, she started guessing things that I've watched twice, and because I watched them twice, I think she automatically thought in her head, oh, he must really, really like that. And I'm like, I watch a lot of things at least twice, which is kind of it. So, I mean, I guess I could see that. There's a lot of people who don't really watch things over and over again, but I'm definitely that guy. So, as we talked about in the last episode, we don't know if we'd be able to watch those again, or you wouldn't be able to watch those again, especially so recently. It depends for me, but I usually don't mind. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this spoils this video that you're referencing, but what would your top 3 shows be?
No, I didn't. I didn't do mine. But
Let's do it.
my
Exclusive.
my top three. We talked about this too. My third gets pretty fuzzy as well. But number one is Parks and Rec.
Oh, love it.
I love Parks and Rec. Number two is probably Arrested Development. The subtlety and the jokes in that show are unmatched, and they're really, really good. The third gets fuzzy, because it's either going to be Futurama, it's either going to be something like Cowboy Bebop, it's either going to be, oh God, there's so many. Katie would definitely have C-Lab 2021. I think it was the number. And I really like that too, but it wasn't my favorite. I really like, God, it's tough. Ed, Edd n Eddy is really good.
I loved Ed, Edd n Eddy as a kid. Would that really make your top three now, though?
I rewatched like the first 5 episodes. It's definitely still kid oriented, but it's not bad. It's really not bad to watch. It is still children doing children things, but it really wasn't bad. Plus, I mean,
Aren't we all?
the comedy of Ed coming through and just being Ed and this dumb, goofy guy, big oaf as well, of Vince, if you will. And then all of a sudden getting really nerdy about aliens and space monsters. I feel like that resonates more with me as an adult. it's really fun to watch. But yes, I mean, definitely Parks and Rec, definitely Arrested Development, and then the third, I mean, it could be anything. But yeah, it is tough. I think if I had to choose, it would probably be Futurama. I really like Futurama. I could do a top 10 easy though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 10 relieve the prep. Bring it down to 3. I feel like one of them I should be like, I don't know, a little artsy about it. Like, all but the last minute of the show lost or something.
Well, I wanted to put something like The Rehearsal, which is insane. The show is just ridiculously insane. And it really like throws you for a loop. But also the last like 2.5 episodes were so surreal that I couldn't handle myself. And I started freaking out a little bit because of how surreal it was. It was the most surreal thing I think I've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Nope.
But it's with Justin Fieldman. I think it's Fielder? Justin Fielder? I don't forget his name. Awkward comedian guy, and he goes and sets people up, and he rehearses. He sets a whole rehearsal for them to prepare for a real life situation. And I mean like a real rehearsal. So the first episode is about somebody not sure how to tell their friend that they've been doing bar trivia with that they don't have a master's degree when they kind of said that they did. So they go through like days and days and days of prep. And Nathan Fielder, that's his name. Nathan sets up a whole bar that is pretty much a 1-to-1 to the bar that they do bar trivia in, brings in an actor that looks just like the guy's friend, brings in a whole set of extras who are running around the bar and creating the bar atmosphere, and runs through a script of like, how is this going to go down? What do you think she's going to say? What are you going to say? And then just detailing every little piece of the entire situation of how to run down this thing. And it's all to do something so mundane, and it's so ridiculous and so surreal, but it is hilarious the whole time because it's a real guy who's really trying to do something that is seemingly important to him. And there are times where he's like about to break and like say, I'm just not going to do it. I'm quitting. I'm leaving. And it, God, it's insane. But I recommend it as at least a one-time watch. It's pretty good.
Well, you're a 2-timer on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did it's potentially.
Go ahead.
You said worth it for a one-time watch, but I assumed you've seen it more than once because that's.
I haven't.
What puts it on your list?
It's semi-new. It's somewhat new, but it was. So I would watch it again, but I'm afraid to watch it again because the last couple episodes were so ridiculous that I don't. You got to watch it to see, but I don't know if I can handle it. It's so weird.
I actually have one of those like that. It's not like it's surreal or it messes me up that way, but like a show that I've seen exactly one time that I want to watch again, I think.
Yeah.
But the ending hit me so hard is The Good Place. I think that show is that show is perfect. Like, it's one of the few shows I could say that stuck the landing, and the landing of that whole show is just like existential and big and weird and beautiful, and I'm just like, that was incredible. I don't know if I have to do that again, but I want to, I think.
Yeah, there are certain things that do that. But there are also certain things that I have watched again semi-recently that I don't think I want. It's like the times have changed and these things don't really feel right anymore. Namely, Scrubs. I've watched Scrubs a ton when I was like a teenager, young teenager. And then you watch it again. There's a lot of like homophobic jokes and sexist jokes, and they were just the norm of the time. And I'm like,
yeah,
we said these things. I don't remember. I don't think I said these things, but we watched we watched people who said these things. This is weird. It's tough to watch, and that alone would take something out of my top 10 for sure. Things that just don't hold up that way. Futurama, I feel, doesn't do that too much, but they probably do.
Really, the thing with Futurama that I could see being problematic is just like their corral of voice actors not playing white characters when they're white and doing big stereotypes. But different times.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should have known better, didn't. But
yeah,
anyway.
I mean, we didn't know better sometimes, and sometimes we do really think about it. People talk about like this culture of pointing things out that, or you point everything out to make somebody look bad, but at the same time, we're just kind of making up for lost time where people didn't really point those things out and people thought it was okay. So anyway, would you like to talk about a minute 46 of the Fast and the Furious?
What if I said no?
I mean, we've filled enough time. We could probably just fill 10 more minutes and then call it.
Nah, let's. This has one of my favorite characters from the first one, Hector.
Yeah. Hector, who we miss dearly. We jump into we're no longer in a canted 45-degree angles shot here. We jump kind of normal horizontal. But we jump to Hector, who I think has a passenger. I can't remember. I can't really see too
He does.
Well.
A dude gets out of his car. Yes. He's maybe the one. Maybe it's lonely. I don't know. Well, he needs someone to say. There are a lot of people that show
up to this shop.
He needs someone to say is it a joke? Is it stupid? His line as he gets out of the car is so funny, and I can't tell if it's supposed to be or not.
Right here or before this?
As soon as he gets out of the car, he says to the guy he's rolling with, "That's valet parking."
Yeah,
it's not valet parking. Is that a joke? I can't tell if that's a joke or not. But and that makes it so funny.
Okay. There's a couple things in this actually. So Californian Mexican culture and probably some Texas Mexican culture. There's a little bit of things that have kind of come to light in the last maybe 5 years of my life. There's a lot of words that Mexican American people who pretty much speak quite a bit of Spanish say that are not Spanish words. And part of this is we kind of just say whatever comes to mind and how it makes sense because it makes sense in our head, and contextually you can probably figure it out. That's, I feel like, what a lot of our culture does. But there's a couple of words like parcar, which is parking or to park. That's not the Spanish word. That is not. We combined an English word and turned it into Spanish. There's a different word for park. There's a different word in, like parcado is like parqueadado or something like that is like parking lot. No, it's not the right word. That is not a word. We just kind of made it up. That is very much Spanglish that we just turned into something. And I feel like because of this, we hear now that's valet parking, and we know that's not what that is. But we know what he's saying and we know what he means. I feel like a lot of us Mexicans have kind of skated on that idea for a long time.
In my family, my mom would have called this prime time parking. And
Yes.
so I know what he means.
Yes.
Because he rolls up, he's right by the door, he's got the best spot.
Mm-hmm.
But just like I said, I don't know if the writer like had the same mentality you did, or if it's supposed to be a joke.
I don't know, but there is that, and you know, yeah. But there's a lot of that, and again, like I said, I've only really thought about this or started thinking that that might not be a Spanish word again in the last like 5 or 10 years, not my whole life, that's for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of that, and I feel like maybe this has a similar mentality, but maybe not. Maybe this is how you pull up to valet. Maybe this is this is the valet equivalent for people who don't want other people to drive their cars. Right? It's like, I don't want anybody else to drive my car, so this is the closest thing I'm going to get to valet.
Being able to see it from the door of inside the shop.
Yeah, exactly. The Racer's Edge they pull up to, and obviously, you know, Hector has a rapport with what's his name? He says it right here. What's the shop owner's name?
Harry.
Harry. Yeah, he goes Harry, and then here we get to our callback to our cinematography callback where we're shooting behind things again. This shop is either so small that they can't fit anything in, or there's so much crap in here that there's no way they can move it for all these cameras. So we're shooting behind.
They probably just like they left the tracks down from when they did the pan from front to back earlier, and now they're just like let's do the tracks again.
So here's the thing, because I think this is on the other side of the shop. So they laid new tracks.
Yeah.
Or they just love that first shot so much they're like, let's do it again, but from a different angle.
I have questions about the shop.
Yeah.
So there's a girl working at the store as well. Does she know Brian is a cop and Harry's a bad man? Is she in on this?
It's a great question.
She leaves. Old Flame Sleeves disappears. Doesn't come back.
What a shirt.
Yeah. Like, is that her uniform? Everyone else is wearing a blank shirt. She's like, I've got a blank-ish shirt. It's also on fire. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Harry has a shirt that says Harry on it, I think it says the Racer's Edge and Harry, but maybe it just says the Racer's Edge. But yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like she maybe knows about Harry taking in stolen parts, maybe, but I don't think she knows about Brian. I would be willing to bet she knows nothing about Brian. But if she doesn't know anything about Brian, she's got to be questioning why the hell is he living in the back of their shop.
I keep forgetting that's part of his deal.
Maybe he looks like this because he just rolled out of bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, like if I rolled into work and I realized that the new guy is sleeping in the back of the shop, I'd have questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because like, I mean, you know, the customers probably don't know this. If they did, that would be also weird and probably have to be explained. But the employees definitely know. You can't not know. So like, or he just cleans it all up. And he's always the first one into work. How does he do it? I don't know.
What if he was still late all the time?
Oh my God. I mean,
like, while being undercover, he's also just not a model employee because he's like really committing to the part. He's like, no, I'm also a fuck up. Oh, I showed up late to work with Starbucks. You live in the back room.
Yeah. For those that have worked retail that are listening to this, you probably know that the people who live closest to your place of work are usually the ones that are late.
Oh yeah.
I don't quite understand that. Maybe it's overestimation of like how much time you actually need, or underestimation, I guess, or if it's just I can never escape work because it's right here. But this does remind us that Brian does work a real shift at this shop while also doing all this stuff at night. So he's got a busy job. He works like 18 hours a day. I don't know how he does it. I mean, I do. I've done it, but I don't want it. And I definitely don't want it. Do you like the fist bump that we get here?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. This whole exchange, like I watch these with closed captioning on just so I can like get apparently the gist of lines because it's not accurate all the time.
Yeah.
But they say between these two and everyone else in this room, "What's up?" and variations of "What's up" so many times it's overwhelming. Like I understand, like even this exchange here. Hector says, "What's up?" Brian says, "What's up?" "Hey, what do you need?" Hector then responds with, "What's up?" "So I need 3 of everything," etc.
There's something weird that happens there, but please keep going.
No, but just like how many times people in this room are saying "What's up?" It's too much.
Well, there are a lot
And
of
then-
people in here, that's for sure.
You don't know what's up, but then you find out what's
I
up.
don't know what's up. I don't know what's up.
What's up?
The weirder thing that I was gonna refer to is when Hector first sees Brian, he says, "Oh, so they let anybody work here now," and Brian responds with, "Don't even think about it." What do you think he means?
I do remember that exchange. I remember my brain just hurting when I heard that. And apparently it was just like, nope, don't. And then everyone started saying, "What's up?" I guess.
Yeah.
Does anyone work here? Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
I don't know what that means.
And now I'm
Like
thinking
he's
about
gonna
it. This
steal
is what I didn't want to
something?
get into.
Is this like referring that don't steal anything, don't stick it up? Well, I don't know what's going on here.
Maybe because Hector knows Brian, he thinks Brian's going to let him steal. And he's like, "Don't think about stealing."
Yeah. That's what I'm getting from that.
Or...
Does your brain hurt again? I'm sorry.
Yes, this is what I didn't want to do. Don't even think about it. Sorry. What's up?
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, it's definitely a moment where I caught it when I was watching this again for the podcast, and I think I've always chalked it up to, especially watching this as like a teenager or a kid, chalked it up to, this must be something going over my head, and I'll get it when I'm older. Well, I'm older now, and I don't get it.
Maybe it's something you're going to get when you're much older. I don't know.
Oh, so at like age 50, 55?
Yeah,
I'll start
I mean,
understanding.
canonically, I think they're younger than we are now.
Yes, they are.
But
Yes.
maybe they're making a joke that's beyond their years. Maybe they're old soul types or something.
Either that or it's before our time. Maybe we can get one of our parents on the next episode to explain it to us.
That would be a wild guess.
I could imagine your dad trying to figure out what the hell we're saying half the time. He'd probably understand it more than like most people his age, but at the same time, this is already, again, hurting our brains. So how do we explain this further?
I feel like my dad would just do a deep dive on all the vehicles and all that stuff, which, might be welcome to some people.
Yeah.
He talks cars at me. I don't know. It's my disappointment in him that I don't care about cars.
Yeah. My grandfather knows how to work with cars. My dad does not. So I disappoint him for different reasons there. But well, not being 6'5" and a all-star baseball player is why I disappointed him. As if that was my fault, not his. Anyway, we jump into this list of what Hector has for. Have you ever wanted to subscribe to like NOS Weekly or whatever this is that his friend is?
Now more than ever, because this podcast, yeah. Is that a whole is it a catalog of NOS? Is that a full magazine?
It looks like it's at least, 4 pages or so. This might be binding, I'm not sure. But it's a lot, and the title is NOS, so it is for the brand NOS. I don't know. Oh, did you catch the line of apparel they have in the back wall for a car part shop?
Racer's Edge has merch.
Yeah, merch, dude. That looks like an ace.
Why don't we have Racer's Edge shirts?
That's a good question.
They have a lot of merch. Oh my god,
it's quite a bit, and it's up high like a band setup shop at a concert.
What if these are like former employees that were great racers and they've like retired their jerseys?
That's so stupid. And I love it.
Up there, Dom's got a jersey.
No, there's no tank top up here.
Yeah, let's say no tank tops. Beat me
That's
to
in the
it.
future
Damn it.
movies. That's in 10-2 when they come back. Oh my god. They have Hall of Fame race car drivers and they hang their jersey, and I'm imagining this whole ceremony where they all stand in a line, but several of them are standing behind these racks and they just stare at a rack while everybody's like saluting the jerseys being hung up. It's so stupid. And then they do instead of like the ceremonial rifle shot, they'll do a spray of NOS in the air, and then you have to
I thought
waft it away.
They make a car backfire, so it sounds like a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Also, cop these computers, man. These monitors are ancient.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine Harry's up on his 2001 technology.
But I mean, I guess that's the question. Is this 2000? Is this actually cutting edge 2001? And I'm just being ignorant. I don't remember
the year when this is supposed to be.
I think it's contemporary.
Okay.
I think
it is until it's not, and everyone forgets to mention that it's not in the future.
I mean, they do have a laptop that gives all this information about the vehicle in real time. That's got to be high tech, right?
Yeah. PlayStation, whatever. Yeah, but then they cut to the
1,
class.
Yeah.
I feel like every you go.
I was going to look up when PlayStation 1 was out.
Well, while you do that, I feel like every like car part shop I've ever been to has just like ancient technology, and that's just normal because they need to upgrade the cars. They don't need to update the tech.
Yes, when I go into a Jiffy Lube or something, it does appear that their monitors and PCs are from the late 2010s, or like just the 2010s in general. So the PlayStation 1 was released in July of 2000. So yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where we need a car guy or car person to come in to break down what the hell we're looking at. They need 3 of each of these for Honda Civics. NOS fuel injection hideout syllable for trillion digital implications 454 00 for you inferium. That's what I read. I don't really know what it is. Okay, but let's look at the prices here. So for one of these, it's about $545 plus 700 plus like, I don't know, like 420 plus 500 plus 500 plus what looks like maybe like 1400 plus like 1900 or something. So okay, he buys a lot of this. He buys one of each of these. Maybe the list goes down. 3 of them on top of that. And then can I cut over to, I think, the last frame of this minute. Do you think that's enough money?
Is that a Jackson's? That's a 20 on the outside, isn't it?
I believe so.
Probably
yes.
not, but you know, he's probably got a tab where he'll make it enough or something. That maybe that's what. Don't even think about it.
That is the question too. How much do you put on a tab before somebody starts going, hey, you need to pay your tab? It's because like car parts are expensive.
If you run a shady business selling stolen parts and your clientele knows it, do you have to cut them a deal so they don't rat you out? Or is there some criminal mutual thing where like, I know you're taking these out, you're street racing with them, you're also doing crimes, so...
Yeah, that is an interesting question. I wonder if...
Criminals write in.
Yeah, criminals, please. Just let us know.
Yeah, let us know your crimes and tell us if you rat out people or
we
whatever.
do need to vet
Thanks.
you, so yes, we do need to know your crimes. Yes, if not, you are an uncredible source.
We do know a lawyer who may have to say something. I don't know how that works, but
Have to or need to?
gets to. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But what I was gonna say is, if these guys, so Harry obviously has this thing where if Dom puts it in his car, then the kids come and buy it. I'm curious if that translates to maybe he gets the employee discount. And maybe this might be enough for Hector in the same reign. Who knows?
Yeah, is Hector one of the kids or is Hector one of the trendsetters?
I don't know. All I do know is this is the first big story beat in a while where Brian starts to believe that Hector is the target he's after because of the 3 Honda Civics, all with moddable parts.
I mean, triples is best. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. And
Shame.
that's gonna do it for our minute.
True.
I don't know if you have anything else, but that's all I got.
Nope. All I had was end this minute with a I think you should leave reference and check. So
There we go. Thank you all so much for watching minute 46 or listening to minute 46, whichever you are doing. We are now into a pretty good chunk. We're about nearing the middle of the movie for the most part.
I have a note about that on the next minute.
Oh, there we go.
I know that's a weird tease, but there you go.
You want to know about the middle of the movie? Just in case none of you are math geeks out there, we're going to talk about the middle of the movie next minute. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe over on youtube.com/Danotage and subscribe on all the different platforms. Go to danotage.tv/60second car to find all the deets and where to follow us. Until next time, and as always, I'll see you next time.
Family.